All right, ladies and gentlemen, aloha, and welcome to another edition of Mana'o at Home. This is number 59. That's right, we're about to hit the big 6-0 coming up. We've been celebrating all Maui musicians since the beginning. I guess it was kind of the middle of the pandemic. And now, you know what, we're keeping the show going. And we are home at BackLit Buddha Studios, and you are at home from wherever you are in the world tuning in. We've got an extraordinary show today, and I'm very blessed to have this show. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Maui News actually did a piece on the show, and we want to say a big mahalo to writer Cindy Schumacher and Marty Dredd, who was actually a reason that it got in the paper, because he called them and said, you got to write a piece about this show. I had such a good time, so mahalo to everybody for supporting the show, and just so blessed to be here for Mana'o Radio and the Weekly Dish. And yeah, we want to give a big shout out to Lily Mayola, who is our dear friend, Maui girl. America's Got Talent. I mean, let's be honest, she's already got the talent. We don't need America's Got Talent. That woman, she's all good to go. So we're really happy and so proud of her. And what a beautiful song for her mother, Nancy, that she sung on the stage. That was really, really breathtaking. And then I just want to give a big shout out to our opening act. That's my man Chino. He's going on tour. So he'll be in Vegas and on the West Coast. And it's just such a beautiful thing. He gets to come home and be here and then go on tour and share the aloha. So mahalo to Chino for supporting the show. And yeah, that's all I had to say about that. And then let's get this party started with our special guests. Don't forget, if you just tuned in and you want to see all the shows, they're online at manaoradio.com/Mana'o at Home. And this is one of the shows that I knew was going to happen, but I wasn't sure when. And it's just, this guy is so wonderful. I became a fan of his, I want to say about 15 years ago, when it was a press packet delivered to me. I did a show called The Weekly Dish, and it had a little letter from a guy named Jimmy C. And it was his new album. And he was a drummer at the time. And I thought, wow, this guy's fantastic. And look at this, he even gave me a little letter. And I started investigating him, and lo and behold, he is just the coolest cat. He's known for his dynamics on the drums, but recently he stepped out into center stage, and he is a classic crooner, and we're just so happy to have him here with his special guest as well. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy C!
Hello.
And Jeff Hellmer! The studio audience is going crazy.
Yes, they are.
How are you? Thank you for being here, buddy.
Doing great. Thank you for inviting us. We just couldn't wait to get here. It's just been one of those anticipatory things that you know are going to happen, and just like, all right, let's get it done and let's experience it. So here we are.
And you know, we have you in kind of a unique setting here, because just the last few years you've become a crooner. It's kind of been one of your dreams, you said. You've always wanted to.
Yeah, truly. I do my radio show on Mana'o Radio, and a Taste of Jazz every Tuesday from 10 to 2. And one day I was researching stuff to play and everything else, and I came across Ella Fitzgerald and Joe Pass doing their thing. And I said, that's what I want to do. It's time in my life that I do this, because I love to sing, but I've been behind the drums singing all that time. And so when I saw Ella and Joe doing that, I said, that's it. I didn't put the drums away, don't get me wrong, but it's what I want to do now. And I reached the point in my life, you know how it is, you get old, the bucket list comes into play. And this is truly a bucket list thing, and so I'm able to pursue it a lot right now, thanks to my gentleman on my left, who actually I call my right-hand man, but he's on my left. And if it wasn't for Jeff, I don't think that I could have pursued it like I'm doing it right now. So that's, in a nutshell, what happened. I just said, I want to do that, and here I am.
And Jeff was like, I can make your dreams come true.
Well, he didn't know he could, but he does now.
No, wonderful.
So
I love to see the rapport you guys have had. It's been such a pleasure hanging out with you before the show, so I'm really excited to dig in. So let's get some music to start us off. And then we'll come back and talk story about your new album and all the cool things going on.
Okay, this is the opening tune on the CD, From My Heart. And everything that I do as a vocalist right now in these days, and what you're going to see today is from my heart. So here we go. What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Yeah, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Yeah, it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling. I would swear I was falling. Yeah, it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was falling. I could swear I was falling. Yeah, it's almost like being in love. I would swear I was falling. I could swear I was falling. Yeah, it's almost like being in love. In love. In love. Thank you. Thank you.
And that was the first song off this album.
Yeah.
From his heart. And thank you to Naor and Tempa,
of
who
course.
have. And I was thinking when you were just talking earlier about your dreams and this new chapter in your sonic journey, what a blessing to have Tempa and Naor in this studio.
Yeah.
I mean, BackLit Buddha Studios has just welcomed you with such open arms, and it's really nice to have a musician on your side.
Yes,
Because they're musicians and singers too.
Of their caliber of musicianship, number one. Number two, being in the business for as long as they've been in, they kind of have these ideas and what's proper and what we should be doing, or what I should be doing, shall we say. So they are my two-headed dragon, I call them.
Oh, I love that.
They're really helping me out, and I appreciate all their input, and I wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for them.
I love this album too because when I pick it up, it's such a collaboration. Like the photos are from Stephen Holding, who from Shooting Stars Photography.
The best.
You know,
the best.
My right hand man when it comes to journalism here on Maui. And then you've got Tempa and Naor on the website, and it's just really slick. You know, I like to see a slick album. You know, I feel like there was a lot of like effort put in, but it's a quality thing out there. So congratulations! It's your 7th studio album.
Yeah, but don't let me go any further without mentioning Shiro Mori.
Oh, that's right.
And his arrangements and his playing that's on that CD. He plays keyboards and guitar, and it's all his arrangements. It's almost a year ago that I approached him and gave him a list of tunes, and I said, look, just come up with these arrangements the way you enjoy, and I wanted to feature him because he's a very shy guy, believe it or not, but I've spent many years with him playing music here when he was on the island. And he's just top notch, and so I just let him come up with these arrangements, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah. And you have Bruce Bogey on there too?
Yeah, well, all the
friend.
technical things that Bruce did
Mm-hmm.
down at Lyman Music and all his studio work, just a blessing too. So I appreciate Bruce Bogey and all his work too.
He does a lot of pro arts. He's down
Oh,
there,
yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
really recalibrated their whole sound system. Like without him, it's
Also it's a great room to record.
yeah, it is a great room. We love what Lynn and them are doing down there.
Yeah.
That'd be a great place for you to have a little.
Well, I have to talk to my manager.
Okay, we'll
about
talk to the
that.
manager.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear a little music, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about
Okay.
the journey to Maui.
If you don't know by now, and the CD is kind of evident, I'm Frank Sinatra fan to the max, and so this is a dedication, the CD almost to him, and this is another one of his famous tunes. So. Those fingers in my hair, that sly come hither stare, that strips my conscience bare, is witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it, the heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart says yes indeed to me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. Fingers in my hair, that sly come hither stare, that strips my conscience bare, it's witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it, the heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart says yes indeed to me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. 'Cause there's no nicer witch than you. 'Cause there's no nicer witch than you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I love seeing what a fan you are of your friend here, Jeff.
I'm telling you, it just would not be here if it wasn't for him. So
Tell me about how this relationship began.
Well, I just moved to Maui, and I knew I was going to be moving for about a year, and so around a year and a half ago or so, I started to look up some of the musicians in Maui just to get to know them.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, first person I got in touch with was actually Michael Elam from the...
Yay, Michael!
Right? And so Michael was,
another pianist.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. And he was kind enough to, get me in touch with Jimmy, and we started
Oh, how wonderful.
playing together a little bit on Sundays and all that, and that's how this has evolved.
The Mana'o family affair
Yeah,
here. I
right,
love it so
exactly,
much.
yeah.
And tell us a little bit about these Sunday sessions.
Oh.
I'm loving Harry's house.
Yeah.
Sorry, Harry. You've been exposed.
Yeah, Harry's exposed.
We're coming over.
About 15 years I've been running this thing at Harry's, which is a jam session up in Makawao area.
Maui's so cool.
And it's just a combination of, it's all these different musicians I've just known over the years, and I invite them every Sunday, and we do music out of the real book. And
The
we
real
do-
book.
The real book is, book 1, book 2, book 2, the Colorado book, whatever. We do everything. And at one point before the pandemic, I had like 15 people on a Sunday afternoon.
Awesome.
And then, of course, the pandemic came, so we had to cut down people. But now we're getting back to normal. So, but I have a great horn section, people to come. I rotate musicians through. I have keyboard players and guitar players.
How
And,
cool.
And as like I said, we just do things right out of the real book, and it gives me a chance to sing these kind of tunes, but also with all those musicians, I have to play the tune 10 times over, sometimes 12 times over, because everybody gets a solo.
Okay.
And everybody gets a chance to pick a tune. So it's one of those things where it's a great jam session, and over the